carbon cycle continue. The carbon cycle describes the way the element carbon moves between the Earth's atmosphere, environment, and living things. The pathway of carbon. Carbon enters the atmosphere as carbon dioxide from respiration and combustion. Carbon dioxide is absorbed by producers, plants, life forms that make their own food to make carbohydrates in photosynthesis. Animals feed on the plants, passing the carbon along the food chain. Most of the carbon these animals consume, however, is exhaled as carbon dioxide. This is through the process of respiration. The dead organisms, dead plants, and animals are eaten by decomposers in the ground. The carbon that was in their bodies is then returned to the atmosphere as carbon dioxide by decomposition. In some circumstances, the process of decomposition is prevented. The decomposed plants and animals may then be available as fossil fuel, fossilization, in the future for combustion. Carbon cycle steps. Following are the major steps involved in the process of the carbon cycle. Carbon present in the atmosphere is absorbed by plants for photosynthesis. These plants are then consumed by animals and carbon gets into their bodies. Then some is released by respiration through breathing. These animals and plants eventually die, and upon decomposing, carbon is released back into the atmosphere. Some of the carbon that is not released back into the atmosphere eventually become fossil fuels. These fossil fuels are then used for man-made activities, which pumps more carbon back into the atmosphere. The level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is maintained by processes including photosynthesis, respiration, combustion, decomposition, fossilization. Photosynthesis. The conversion of carbon dioxide into sugars by plants using the sun as an energy source. Respiration. The conversion of sugars into carbon dioxide to release energy used by organisms. Combustion. Burning of carbon-based materials, example wood, gasoline, coal, to obtain energy to do work, releasing CO2, carbon dioxide, as a byproduct. Decomposition. The process by which dead organic substances are broken down into simpler matter. Fossilization. The process of an animal or plant becoming preserved when a living organism becoming a fossil. Importance of the carbon cycle. The carbon cycle is important in ecosystems because it moves carbon, a life-sustaining element, from the atmosphere and oceans into organisms and back again to the atmosphere and oceans. Carbon is an essential element for all life. Carbon cycle plays a very important role in the lives of every living organism. Carbon dioxide from atmosphere is taken up by the organic compounds or plants, which use it to make their food. If carbon dioxide was not in the atmosphere, then plants would not be able to make their food and the greenery would die from the face of the earth. What are the 4 steps of the carbon cycle? 1. Carbon enters the atmosphere as carbon dioxide. 2. Carbon dioxide is absorbed by autotrophs such as green plants. 3. Animals consume plants, thereby incorporating carbon into their system. 4. Animals and plants die, their bodies decompose, and carbon is reabsorbed back into the atmosphere. Why is the carbon cycle important? Carbon cycle is an important aspect of the survival of all life on Earth. Carbon provides insulation by trapping the sun's heat. 3. Carbon is the building block of all life and forms stable bonds with other elements necessary for life. Key points on carbon cycle. Carbon cycle explains the movement of carbon between the Earth's biosphere, geosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. Carbon is an important element of life. Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is taken up by the green plants and other photosynthetic organisms and is converted into organic molecules that travel through the food chain. Carbon atoms are then released as carbon dioxide when organisms respire. The formation of fossil fuels and sedimentary rocks contribute to the carbon cycle for very long periods. The carbon cycle is associated with the availability of other compounds as well.